Hello there and welcome to today's Daily Dominion, which is Menagerie Guilds. Hard AI's favorite card on the board. There are two landscapes here where the butterfly lets you gain a little bit more expensive action card, and Stampede, which lets you gain some horses and kick off, have a big turn. There's quite a lot of engine stuff here. Black Hat should be pretty awful. There's kind of two approaches you could take here, I think. You could, one, try to do the Hunting Lodge stuff, which would involve mostly using Hunting Lodge for a draw and then trying to just play, Merchant Guild Butcher. You could play Masterminds for sure in that deck, and then also Kilns. I think would be quite good in that deck. And you can use Plaza and Goat Herd to decrease, and Butcher some too, to decrease hand size. Well, any of the terminal actions, but especially these decrease more, and then play Hunting Lodge to draw up. And this wouldn't really make use of Stampede except for as like an accelerant early in the game. And then and eventually you could have some animal fairs and stuff, but the other option is to try and do a Stampede Merchant Guild thing. Because you gain a lot of cards with Stampede, and so you can accumulate coffers. The problem with that deck, it doesn't actually play all that well with Mastermind, because Mastermind stays out so much. You're effectively, you get to triple something, but then you're stuck with the Mastermind out. You could play like 2 Masterminds, 3 Merchant Guilds, and Mastermind a horse, and then play the 3 Merchant Guilds and the other Mastermind each turn, which would be fine. You'd only get 4 buys, so it's not a huge... You could only build to quad province, but you could get there. You would get like 15 tokens, and you'd probably have to spend 5 or so. So you would net like 10 tokens. So you'd probably have to do this about, the awkward thing would just be, I guess you could have 4 buys. 2 Masterminds, 3 Merchant, 4 buys. So you could do 4, 20. Well, it's more than, you get 3 in, so you get 15 per Stampede. Yeah, I mean, you can accumulate a lot of tokens for sure. Besides Mastermind, though, 2 Masterminds, you can also build the same deck with just 2 villages. It could just be 2 plazas or 2 hunting lodges or whatever. You'd still be able to play 3 merchant guilds, and you're not necessarily getting anything off having the Mastermind particularly. I mean, like the very first time you Stampede, it might help you draw a deck. But if you can double Stampede, you already are up to a 15 card hand, which is like, it's just more cards than you have stop cards. So, and then you can also just start saving horses. So I have to imagine that Mastermind is actually just slower than doing villages into that. So your real challenge is just trying to get a couple merchant guilds down, and we can try that deck. It's kind of fun. It should be relatively clean. And it plays with 4 buys. You play 2 villages, 3 merchant guilds. Those are your 5 cards in play. Well, okay, I counted this all up wrong, because I was counting as if you could play all the coppers, which doesn't really work. Though you can discard the coppers to the plazas, which is also actually kind of nice. Yeah, it doesn't accumulate quite as quickly because of the coppers being in play. This is going to be a long intro and then maybe not such a long play out. It'll certainly work. You just have some awkward points. And then the greening itself, probably not a big deal. You can likely take, you'll be able to save up some horses, so you're likely able to take like, I don't know, 3 provinces and a stampede and then 4 provinces. Probably works fine. I'm not actually 100% sure that's faster than Honey Lodge Kiln, because this deck, the Honey Lodge Kiln deck, it's to use Butcher really effectively. It's just gonna be, it's just a little maybe slower because it relies on the goat herds to clean up. But it certainly is a little more explosive than the Merchant Guild thing, because the Merchant Guild is just always, you're limited by the stampede restriction. You're not getting more than like 4 buys, and you can actually do quite a bit better in the Honey Lodge deck, buys/gains. So I'm not sure. We can play both, I guess. We can play both and compare. What do we want to try first? So we do need to be able to afford a, maybe we go Plaza Silver. We could already Stampede. We could actually Stampede and then go to Merchant Guild and probably Stampede again. So we have the Plaza, we can wave the Butterfly into a Merchant Guild and then Stampede again. So we will need more Plazas. We may be able to get Stampede. Let's try that. I think it runs pretty nicely. So what we're going to do is Stampede and then get to 5 coppers here, hopefully. Okay, so we'll stop here. We're going to wave the Butterfly this thing into a Merchant Guild and then Stampede again. They're buying Black Cats, which is terrible. Okay. So then we're going to play this. We're going to Stampede again. We could get an, I don't think we want an Animal Fair, but this is going to net us a bunch of coffers. Okay. We are accumulating some horses, which is cool. Okay, we'll stop. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. We're going to buy Plaza and Stampede. How many horses? 3. These are all the horses. Okay. Would be nice to draw. That's a bummer. One, two, three, four. Okay. So we could double Stampede. That's probably better. We're going to try and use Butterfly to get the rest of what we need here. We can. These draws, we bottom deck this stuff has not been good. Okay. We'll get there fine, but it's been a little slow. Whoops. So here we probably double stampede again. I think this is the right angle. I kind of wasn't thinking of way the butterfly as a way to do better here, but it helps quite a bit. Because we have our two plazas. Still need our buys. This is like 2 merchant guilds. Okay. And then next turn we can get the 3rd plaza. Look at all these coffers. I don't know what Hard AI is doing. We will start to accumulate horses here a little bit. Maybe should have been Stampede Merchant Guild, actually. We can get it, but we're going to be... short of being able to play it all here. Stampede. Do we just go ahead and take the provinces? There's not like any reason to. There's also not any reason to accumulate the coffers. Other than we can accumulate some horses. No. Eat the curses? We just eat the curses now? Sure, why not? Just 1 curse. We even get a little extra coffers there. How fun. As soon as we draw the 3rd Merchant Guild, which, okay, is the very last card. We just start doing the provinces, why not? If we draw the... I don't think we're... Well, okay, now it doesn't matter. Hey, they double province, look at that. Yeah, you just can't use the buys here correctly. Unfortunately, I didn't even find the plazas. That's funny. Kind of close game. Not really close in the sense that like we could lose, but you know, score-wise. That's pretty funny. Well, I leave not super impressed with that approach, though I think we had a couple of unfortunate draws, and I maybe could have done the buys a little better. But I'm not like super impressed with it overall. It kind of looks... So we're gonna try something different. We're gonna open the same way though. This wasn't, well, that's okay. So the goal here, we could maybe stampede now. The nice thing here with Plaza is we get to turn the estates into fives, which is cool. Let's go ahead and get another Plaza. Home. If we draw hunting grounds here, we'll be in, or hunting lodge rather, we'll be in business. Okay, I guess we won't change this yet. So that was great. We got to accumulate some stuff. And then I think we just go another hunting lodge, and then we'll work in the kilns shortly. Like this turn if we can. I don't know if there's gonna be anything super great to kiln, but okay, well, no. It would have been okay if we'd drawn the goat herd with it. Wouldn't have minded that. Let's toss the silver and trash this. Okay, this is beautiful. Now we're cooking. This certainly feels better to me. Whether it is better, I don't know. This is just a really nice kiln board. Kiln is sort of underpowered in general, but on a board like this, it's very, very, very good. Well, do we want a merchant guild? We can almost do better just on butcher than we can building up coffers. Though, obviously, the merchant guilds would be just fine. Maybe a mastermind here could be fun. Let's try that. The only other option was like butcher again, but we wouldn't have been able to play the master. We could have gotten another butcher so we could butcher the estate, but we also need to start keeping an eye out for butterflying either the plazas or the goat herd. I haven't really been watching for it, but this is also a funny kingdom where if your opponent is doing the butcher stuff, then the goat herds are also super good, but Hard AI isn't really doing that. This is probably ought to be Honey Lodge. This is between like Kiln or Honey Lodge. Anything else is mostly fine to just gain during the middle of the turn. So we could try the goat herd, but I guess we'll just do this. I'm trying to find like a butcher or something. Nope. A kiln also would have been pretty good to hit with Mastermind. I wouldn't have minded that. Let's try and kill him some more. So you get to do these kiln chains, which are fun. We can, there's still a lot of stuff in here. Let's do the butterfly for just a honey lodge. That was a really good draw, actually, too. I love kiln when it works like this. And there's just a bunch of villages, so let's get the mastermind. We are going to be able to, this state's the last card, or no, this state's gone. Never mind, I lied. So we could get another mastermind here off kiln. That's pretty good. I don't know if this copper to plaza is really worth doing. We don't really get anything exciting off of it immediately. We could also butterfly some things into golds just for a little more expensive butcher targets, but that's even more unnecessary than a lot of the things we're doing. All of which are pretty unnecessary. All right, so we're at turn 11 and we have like a lot of stuff now, which is cool. Big fan of having stuff. Let's do the kilns and just start getting a bunch of kilns. And then we'll do this. Okay, we don't have to, we can just play them all for this. And then we can probably start gaining curses. It's pretty likely we can just 3-pile here, but it might be good to know what the exact situation's going to end up being with respect to that. The cursing. Just see how much or trying to overcome, because we should be able to open or empty rather than, let's see what we're dealing with curse wise. Looks like 3 or a 4. I mean 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so this should be pretty doable. Let's try and find a kiln. Okay, there's no kiln. So do one more. Yeah, okay, that helps. Let's do butcher, get a butcher, gain another, I mean, kiln or butcher, both are fine here. We already have a lot of kilns, so we already have a lot of everything. Okay. It would be nice to... It would have been nice to draw a butcher, but that's all right. So this stops. This isn't actually winning. Is it? No. So we're going to have to just do a little bit of... We're going to have to just score a little bit here. But we can double province while trashing a curse, which is pretty good. So we definitely end a little faster here. I'm surprised we weren't able to pile out, but that's just the way it goes. We can just do the kiln and then get a butcher, ends it. We'll just get a black cat for the fun of it. I'm pretty sure, I don't know. I'm pretty sure this is just better than, I mean, it certainly went better. I think it's just better. Be interesting to have them played against one another. We were kind of unlucky to not even be able to end it on 11. I think I probably misplayed it somewhat. Okay, well, it's a cool kingdom. There are kind of two divergent big payload things that you could attempt, and both were kind of interesting and used different sections of the kingdom. What I did just now could have certainly incorporated more of the plus buy things as well. It was very flexible, which is one of the reasons why I think it might be better, is it's just a little more flexible with respect to what it can and can't incorporate at different points in the game. Whereas the Stampede thing is kind of locked into one thing. But in any case, cool board. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you all tomorrow.